A 10.
I'll give it a 10 as well.
Ooh, tens across the board.
General experience?
10.
10. Yeah, I
know
think
about
I
it.
too would rate it a 10.
Also, it's an eco lodge, and so like it's.
You don't go there looking for a bathtub. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Uthman. I'm a traveler. Why are you laughing? I'm a traveler, travel content creator, and documenter. If this is your first time on my YouTube channel, welcome. If it isn't, be sure that you subscribe, you stay, you join the family, and stay tuned. And stay tuned for more travel content. My friend here is Karen, and she's here because she visited both lodges with me. And so we'll be discussing it and giving you as much information as you need. Talking about the travel time, we'll chat a little bit about availability. We'll talk about essentials to pack when you're visiting both places. And then we'll talk about ownership. We'll talk about cost of staying there. We'll talk about facilities that you have access to. And then we'll talk about our general experience. Because in as much as we travel together, we may not have experienced the place the same way for a number of reasons. So she's here to give you a little bit flavor that I may be missing. I mean, I don't miss flavor, but you never know. You never know. So yeah,
You don't.
quickly, Karen, do you want to say hi to my subscribers?
Hi everyone, it's me, Karen.
Introduce yourself.
I often accompany Hawa on her travels.
That's my travel buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm behind most of the videos
And
some of the
photos.
pictures.
And
Yes.
photos. Travel time. So for Meet Me there, it's approximately 3.5 hours from Accra Mall.
Yeah.
So if you're driving about 3 hours and a half, you should be at Gita in the Volta region. Compared to Ahanta Waves, it's about 6.5, 7 hours from Accra. That's because you drive through Takade, which is about 4.5 hours from Accra, depending on the time that you leave. So if you don't leave early enough, you might actually spend longer because there's also pockets of travel on the traffic on the way. But if you do live in good time, you should make it there in about 7 hours, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're going to talk about availability. Do you want to take that?
Well, so for Meet Me there, it's in very high demand. And so you are going to have to make sure that you book ahead. When I say ahead, 3 months ahead. Because
It took me a year.
yes,
Literally. Yeah.
it is that difficult to get into Meet Me there because everyone wants to get there. For Ahanta Waves, it is not that bad. But you also have to watch out for peak times, around Christmas, around like summer holidays where everyone is around long weekends as well. So you might want to.
I'll see peak times because I was going to say holiday period. I'm so tired of going. Yeah. But honestly, yeah.
Yeah, so watch out for that. But do keep in mind that you're going to have to, plan way ahead for Meet Me there. Don't say we didn't warn you. You heard it to your face.
Facts. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is essentials to pack. So generally, you have things that you would want to have whilst you're going out of your home, right?
Yes.
But there are certain things that are very specific to these two locations that you have to have on you when you're going there, just to make your stay a bit more comfortable and good. So the first thing for Meet Me there is you would have to pack a few warm clothes.
Yes.
Because of the lagoon and the ocean, it can get very cold, especially at night.
Especially at night.
So you have to have a bit of warm clothes, especially sleeping gear, so that you don't feel too cold. Especially if you book either the sea view room or the honeymoon suite, which is
When you're
very
very close to the water.
Yes, exactly. The next thing too is if you are interested in photography, that I was, you have to go with neutral colors. Because the place is already very colorful.
Yeah.
There are lots of plants, but there are also a lot of murals. So you should have neutral clothes that would photograph very well against all that color.
Yeah, it's a lot of warm colors, even with the murals or the general vibe of the place. It's colored in very warm, beautiful colors. It's a very beautiful place.
It's a very beautiful
It's a
place.
really, really
Actually,
beautiful
it's a
place.
very beautiful
So, yeah.
place. The next thing you should pack is mosquito repellent.
For both.
For both places, actually.
Everywhere
When
you
in Ghana,
go.
it shouldn't be surprising.
Yeah.
There are mosquitoes. And because the lagoon doesn't flow, it's still water, mosquitoes are able to breed on it. So if you sit out in the night, they're going to come for you.
They'll be having a good time. You won't be having a good time.
Exactly. So please go with your repellent. And the last thing for Meet Me There specifically, you need sunscreen. I mean, you generally would need sunscreen everywhere, but for Meet Me There, you need sunscreen because it's very sunny. We are going to go on to Ahanta Waves. So essentials to pack for Ahanta Waves. First and foremost, if I don't mention this, I lied to you. And you know, as far as Uthman is concerned, honesty is key, integrity is and you will hear the gist. Pack extra bed sheets. Pack extra bed sheets. I can't say that enough. You might not be too lucky, and your bedspread might not be the cleanest, as was in our experience. So please have extra bed sheets. When you go and it's not to your taste, you just lay it out and have a great time. The next thing you should pack also for that place is mosquito repellent.
Yes.
They have a bit of a removed sitting area, but it's close to a still water body.
Yeah.
So also mosquitoes would be there. So if you sit there at night, you will need repellent. Or generally, even if you wanted to sit on the compound, you would need mosquito repellent. And sunscreen as well.
And sunscreen.
And sunscreen.
And sunscreen.
As well. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is ownership.
Ownership. Who owns these places?
Yes, because as much as we love to travel and as much as we're Ghanaians and we want to go to other regions and enjoy the places, sometimes our biggest concern is who is the money going to at the end of the day? And if we are here to be honest, then we have to be honest. The ownership for Meet Me There is non-Ghanaian.
Yeah.
As is with Ahanta Waves.
Yeah.
Both places are not owned by Ghanaians, but they have Ghanaian staff.
Yeah.
So they have cooks that are Ghanaians, they have waitresses that are Ghanaians, they have cleaners that are Ghanaians, they have, I didn't see chauffeurs in that size, but they have people, even florists for Meet Me There. I saw the florist was also Ghanaian.
Yeah.
So they have Ghanaian staff, but the ownership of the place isn't Ghanaian.
Yeah.
The next thing we'll talk about is the cost to stay at these places. First, for Meet Me There, Karen, do you want to take it?
These are lots of numbers. At a range between 880 cedis to 890 cedis.
Depending on the room that you choose.
Depending on the room that you choose. And now, Meet Me There is introducing a new set of rooms. 2 rooms. Sea view. Are these called? What are they called?
They're called sunset room and sunrise room. They have like a more spectacular view of the water. Exactly. You can see that on their Instagram. I'll link it in the description below.
And so those rooms are going for 400 cedis. Okay. And so for Ahanta Waves, you are looking at a price range from between 160 cedis to 250 cedis, depending on the room that you choose to stay in.
Definitely. And they are all displayed on the website. I would also link that in the description below. But I would want to mention that for Ahanta Waves, if you are booking via booking.com, the quotation comes in dollars. So for 2 nights that we stayed, it will be $100, which is about 580 cedis.
Yeah.
The next thing we're going to talk about is the facilities available at each location.
So you have a spa where you get massages. They have a restaurant with amazing food.
Oh my god, the food. We'll get back to that.
You have a tour of the surrounding mangroves.
Yeah.
I think you get to see the mangroves. You get to see
the islands.
You
go to
the islands.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and then the estuary.
You get to go past the estuary as well. You have access to the beach. So there is a lagoon that separates the beach
but
from
it's
the
just
actual
about
property.
2-hour canoe ride to the beach.
2-hour canoe.
Hey, sorry, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Well, if you're in Howard's canoe, it might take you 5 minutes. But let's not do. And there's a beautiful outdoor shower as well. So yeah, there.
Oh my god.
Also, you have access to the lagoon as well. You can swim. You can swim in the lagoon. She swam in the lagoon. I watched.
And then for Ahanta Waves, in terms of things that you can do, facilities that they have, They have a surfing school. I showed it in my previous video. So you pay, it's about 20-25 cedis for an hour, and then you are taught to surf. But they do have a restaurant that serves meals cooked by the Ghanaian staff. Go for fish meals.
Fish meals.
Fish meals. Amazing.
Always fish meals.
Amazing. And then you have access to disco and Fort Metal Cross. So it's not too far away from Ahanta Waves. It's just about
5 minutes
drive.
Yeah.
Away from the lodge. You would get into the disco town, and then you can spend the day there, you know, having a bit of fun.
It's a very historical town. It's a town with a lot of rich history. Fort Metal Cross also has, I feel like when it comes to a lot of our historical sites, we get to see the big ones, but we never really experience like the little forts that line the coast.
For sure.
And so it was very interesting experience. So do take your time and
go there
and
take a day and
listen to the stories from Fort Metal Cross. You will never be the same.
Yeah, totally. Now to the final part of this video, we are going to rate the general experience from a range of 1 to 10.
Okay.
And that should as much as capture the whole thing.
Okay.
So we'll start with accommodation. So accommodation for Meet Me there, what would you rate? So we stayed at 2 rooms.
We
the
did.
honeymoon suites and the cheap suites.
I loved the rooms. I'm gonna give it a 10. I'm not
right?
mad at it.
Yeah, I think I too would rate it a 10.
Also, it's an eco lodge, and so like
you don't go there looking for a bathtub. That's all I'm gonna say. You go there looking for eco things.
But it's also really comfortable
but it
and
has
very
to be
clean.
Cute. Yeah.
And so yeah.
The next thing is the food. Food at Meet Me there.
I was always full. So
I enjoyed the akple.
Yes.
With the tilapia.
Yes.
And then the cassava chips.
There was even
with the grilled chicken.
Okra mango sauce.
Yes, and the drinks, the sugarcane juice, the bisap. I remember the noodles with the shrimps.
That was amazing. That was my favorite meal.
Food for Meet Me there,
top notch.
10.
I was always
10.
full.
I give it a 10.
Yes.
10.
Yes.
Okay. Cleanliness. How clean the place is.
I was very comfortable with the cleanliness.
I think it was very well maintained.
Yes.
And the cleaners came around every morning to make sure that they keep the place clean.
Yeah.
And when we had to switch rooms, we had to be delayed for a bit because they needed to make sure that the room was clean up to standard before we could go and stay there. So I would give cleanliness for Meet Me there a 10.
I'll give it a 10 as well.
Ooh, 10s across the board.
Can you tell that we really had fun?
Yeah, we loved it. The next thing we're rating it for is service. Service for Meet Me there.
We are troublesome and they liked us.
Yes, yes, they actually managed to contain us. So service, 10.
They were fun. They were really
10,
fun.
for sure.
Yeah.
Now let's do a general experience. So generally, how would you rate it? 1 over 10.
No, I loved it. I'll give it a 10. If I could give it more than a 10, I would give it there.
And you also particularly like the community project?
I did. There are so many community projects. There's so many ways in which the community is involved in
what they
do, and you can see that there's a very significant effort to give back to the community and or include the community in whatever work they're doing, and so that's very admirable. I thoroughly enjoyed my stay there. I was a lot of myself there, and that's always a good thing.
General experience?
10.
10. Then we move on to Ahanta Waves. So Ahanta Waves, we're going to rate it 1 to 10. Accommodation. For accommodation at Ahanta Waves, I'll give it a 5. Just to be fair. What that means is that it could be lower because I didn't particularly like the accommodation.
Yeah.
And I will be honest and say that. But just because I was there for 2 days, 2 nights and 3 days, I feel like it was that terrible, I would have left. So that's a 5 for me. 5.
Yeah. I definitely think that certain things could have been handled and maintained better. I also would give it around the same number. I'd give it a 4 for me. Just because I just think that it could have been better in so many ways. It could have been better in so many ways. In ways that
the next thing is food. So for food,
Food was good.
except breakfast.
Except breakfast. But food was good.
Yeah. So for food, I'm gonna give it an 8.
Yeah.
I'll give it an 8.
Food was good. I'd give it a 7, but food was good.
Okay, yeah. So my 2 would
Because
be the
mine is
breakfast.
breakfast. Because I'm a very big breakfast person.
Same,
so like you
same.
have to knock me with the
Same.
breakfast.
And the third thing is cleanliness.
You want to go first?
I should go first, right? So the cleanliness was subpar. I wouldn't say that it could have been better. I would say that it was terrible.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to cleanliness, rating it, I'm going to give it a 3. Sorry guys, there's so much more cleaning you can do. From the outside into the restaurant area, to the outdoor shower I couldn't shower in, to, just onwards overlooking the beach area, to the bedroom, to the bed sheet.
To the sheets.
Definitely could be better. I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a 3.
Everything she said.
Yeah, I mean, because we were there together.
Service was pretty decent.
Yeah, because the staff are pretty warm. They're actually
Yeah.
really nice
Yeah.
people. And they're on hand. If you need something, they're there to deliver.
Yeah.
And so for service, I'm going to give them an 8. And I'll say why they don't get a 10, even though the staff are very nice, very warm, very on hand, very, ready to help.
Yeah.
From the staff,
Especially
the
the service.
same guy who changed
His hair color.
every 3 hours.
Love him.
To-
Louis.
Louis name to the cook, and then the cleaner who helped us clean the place,
Exactly.
and they are all superb.
Yeah.
The reason I give it an 8 is because I had a service problem when we got there with I don't know whether it's the owner or the caretaker. Then lastly, we're going to rate our general experience with Ahanta waves.
And the beach is beautiful.
Stunning.
When you go down that stretch of beach,
Ooh, the morning
Yo-
sunrise. And Disco was amazing.
this cove is amazing as well. You should visit the town.
We were out more.
We did
so
a
it's
lot
easy
more
for us to wait
exploring.
outside. But for inside,
I might give it a 4.
I think I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah, I think
I'm
gonna
gonna
give
bump it up to a 5 because of the food.
Yeah, I think we give it a 5.
Yeah,
Let's
give it a 5.
Yeah, for the experience of the place itself, it's a 5. But for the environment and the entire travel experience, that was a 10 over 10.
Yeah.
for sure.
Definitely, I really enjoyed the community.
You
I
see
really enjoyed
why
the
she's
community.
my travel buddy? She gets it. She gets the stuff. So this brings us to the end of this week's video.
Yeah,
If you enjoyed all that we brought you,
and me.
and if you found it useful and informative for your planning, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends.
And also tell us about your experiences. Like I know a
Well-
number of you have traveled or are traveling. So
See.
share with us like what your experiences were. If you
Amazing.
felt similar, felt differently, what your experiences were. Because some of
Anything.
these things are
Anything
also
really,
asked.
yeah. Let us
So
know in
tell
the
us.
comments. Let us know in the comments.
Tell
We
us.
actually want to.
We want to know.
Thank you so much, and I will see you next week in my next
You see
travel
her next week.
video. Oh, yeah, she's not gonna be here. Bye.